My grandmother lets us go anywhere on the farm except the top field. The gate has been open my whole life. I'm 19 now, and I only figured it out this summer. Growing up, the rule was simple. You can roam wherever you like, Nana would say, sweeping the porch. Chickens, the pond, the backwoods. Just never the top field. And every time, she'd add the same thing. The gate's open. I trust you. That's the part that stuck with me. The gate to the top field was never locked. A rusted latch, waist high, swinging loose in the wind. My cousins and I could have walked through it any day of our lives. We never did, because Nana said not to, and because she said she trusted us, and somehow that trust was a heavier lock than any chain. I asked her about it once when I was 8. "What's up there, Nana?" "Old well," she said, not looking up from her knitting. "Ground soft. You'd fall right in and nobody'd hear you." I believed her for 11 years. This June, I came back to help her with a harvest. Grandpa had passed the winter before, and she'd sounded tired on the phone. The farm looked smaller than I remembered. First night, I sat on the porch with her, and I noticed the top field for the first time in years. The grass up there was greener than anywhere else. Thicker, almost glowing in the last light. "Nana," I said, "why's the top field so green? Nothing's been planted up there in decades." Her knitting needle stopped. "Just for a second. Rich soil," she said. "Runoff collects." The next morning, I woke at 5 a.m. to a sound I couldn't place. A dragging, wet, rhythmic sound. I went to the window. Nana was walking up toward the top field with a wheelbarrow, and there was something long in it wrapped in a tarp. I told myself it was a dead animal. A deer, maybe. I went back to bed. But that night at dinner, I couldn't let it go. "I saw you this morning," I said, "going up to the top field." The fork stopped halfway to her mouth. "You're mistaken. You had the wheelbarrow." "Compost," she said. Her voice was flat. "Old vegetables. That's all." "Nana, it was 6 feet long." She set the fork down very slowly. "Finish your supper," she said, "and don't go near that field." So of course, that's exactly where I went. I waited until she was asleep, took a flashlight, and walked through the open gate for the first time in my life. The soft ground swallowed my boots. The grass really was greener, and up close I understood why. The whole field was rows. Long, even mounds, each maybe 6 feet, spaced like graves because that's what they were. I counted 11 before I got to the fresh one. The dirt was still dark and loose, and a corner of blue tarp poked out of the top. I heard the latch behind me. "I told you to stay out," Nana said. She was standing in the gate with the shotgun Grandpa used for coyotes. I raised my hands. "Who are they?" I asked. My voice barely worked. "People who ask too many questions," she said, walking toward me. "Like your grandfather, like your Aunt Della, who wanted to sell my land out from under me, like the man from the county who came about the well permit." She smiled, and it was the smile she gave me when I was little and scared of thunder. "The gate's always open, sweetheart. I never had to lock it. I just had to tell you I trusted you and you locked it yourselves. Every one of you, except when they didn't. You're not going to shoot me," I said. "I'm your grandson. Della was my daughter. She raised the barrel." And that's when the flashlight in my raised hand did its job, because I'd never turned it off, and the deputy I'd texted at dinner, the one I'd been stalling her for, put his own light on her from 10 feet back. "Ma'am," he said, "put it down." Nana didn't turn around. She just kept looking at me, and her smile didn't move. "You called someone. You had 6 feet of tarp in a wheelbarrow," I said. "I'm not 8 anymore. They dug up all 11 that week. Grandpa was row 4. The county man was row 9. And Nana, sitting in the back of the cruiser, only said one thing as they walked her past the open gate. 'The trust,' she said, 'always worked before.'"